Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you today on our webinar. This time, it's going to be about seafood logistics in Europe, main focus on Central Europe, and everything what is related with seafood activities and all kind of species we handle via our fish hub. Whether we speak about frozen products or we speak about ultra fresh products or premium proceed products, everything will be covered today in today's discussion and live videos from our production. But before we go actually in super detail in our today's discussion, it's my pleasure to welcome our guests here in studio and remotely our remotely joined colleagues. So on my right side, I would like to welcome a master in this industry, Pierre, who is managing partner of HOPI Fish Hub. Hello, Pierre.
Hello, Martin. Nice to be here.
It's our pleasure. And on my left side, it's charming lady, Hanka. Hanka is actually in the leadership of HOPI Fish Hub. Hello, Hanka.
Hello, Martin. Hello to everybody.
And remotely, we have actually two colleagues. One is Michal Bednář, who is responsible of all transport streams in HOPI Fish Hub. Hello, Michal.
Hello, Martin. Good afternoon, everyone.
And the most challenging part today will be covered by Adam. Adam is physically in the production, and he will give us actually live streaming from the production. Hello, Adam. Can we hear Adam?
Yeah, hi Martin, good afternoon everyone.
Excellent, connection is here, so perfect. So before we will start in detail our webinars, I would like to remind you that you have the opportunity to raise a question. Later on today, we will of course answer on these questions, because the experts we have here in the studio or remotely, I do believe should be able to cover the majority of your questions. Now I would like to ask our, let's say, director who is helping us with here in studio to put on the screen the introduction movie, which will help us to get a little bit the feelings of the today's discussion. Great. So we are back in the studio, and now is the time, Pierre. Then you can take the word, and let's open the scene about the seafood logistics in Central Europe.
Perfect.
Please.
Hello, everybody. One more time. Hello to my team also. It's a very busy month, the most important month of the year because of Christmas and New Year. And I always say Prague has, in average, the most freshest seafood in Europe. Quite difficult to believe because Prague is in Central Europe. And we will show you, and the logistic manager, Michal, will explain you why. But the history, slides please. So the next slides, please. But Europe, yeah. The fish platforms in Europe mainly are located in Denmark, in Netherlands, Frankfurt. Then you have a central market in Paris, in Rungis. Vigo is also a center of the fish in Europe, and of course in the region of Venezia. Now, as you can see on the map, we are located really in Central Europe, in the center of all the seas, and due to the transport that we have, the fish from all the seas over Europe are in less than 24 hours in Prague and redistributed in 6 or 7 other countries. But we will be more precise with the logistic part of the deal. Now, the big advantage of being in between the seas is that we have a very huge variety of fish that you can find over here. And more fish is coming even from exotic destinations, and also mainly by plane and landing in Frankfurt. More explanation we will give you later. Now I hand over the following information with Hanka, that is taking care of sales and development. Can you, Hanka,
Yeah, of course.
take it over?
Thank you. Hello, maybe a few words about myself first. So my name is Hanna Vaníková. I'm working as a sales and development manager for HOPI Fish Hub since 2018. I'm already 16 years in fish business together with Pierre, but he is of course much longer in that business than me. What is my responsibilities is very close to what was Pierre explaining. This is to develop the products and synergies between the network of our fish-related partners, and of course to analyze the market and find the best new products that we can show potentially to the market, and to develop the strategies and new products. This is the major activities, and of course we are always smiling also to make sure that everything runs smoothly. So maybe a little bit more about the services that we are offering. We have like main 3 pillars of the services. 2 of them is outside, let's say, the building, and 1 is inside. This is gonna be then behind the scenes also with Adam. What is the most important if all of this is matchmaking and networking? Because of course, without this, there is no products coming to the market. There is nothing to transport and nothing to produce. What it means, the matchmaking or networking. This is introduction of some new suppliers to the market. This is what we are normally doing. Of course, we develop the product, and just to explain a little bit more, who can be the supplier and who could be the client. For example, the client like retail, wholesaler, or super wholesaler, catering, or the big HoReCa client can come to us and say, look, I'm searching for this type of products. Do you know somebody? And yes, we are able in our big portfolio of clients to find this special product and to introduce it to the final client, and vice versa. It can be also supplier, producer, or farmer on some super wholesaler who has special product that is interesting for our market, and we are introducing this product to the final client. So this is both ways.
So Hanka, just a quick question. Once I hear what you said, that we are able to actually to organize whatever species actually around Europe. Yeah, this is one of the more biggest advantage on our side, because we are more or less well connected to each and every fish hub within Europe. This is your heritage, your responsibility, right? So, is there something, generally speaking, where you would say we are not able to organize or to cover? Is there any species?
I think no, I don't think. I'm pretty sure that we always can solve the problem for the client. If we talk now from South America, from Canada, we have goods coming from there. Is it mainly fresh? I'm talking now mainly fresh. Is it from Japan? We have New Zealand, Australian kingfish from Australia that is flying in. So no, I don't think we simply can have all the fish kinds because we are connected to the main fish hubs in Europe.
We will touch that in details where Michal will describe all the, let's say, transportation channels, but I just wanted to maybe just point it out that there are no limits in the scope of the activities we do right now. So Anka, sorry, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So this is one of the most important, of course, to create the network and to develop the network. Then, of course, the other big part is the logistics network, but this is what will be explained a little bit later by my colleague Michal. And then we have the third part, and this we call it like on-site services. This is the services that we're having already here in our building in Jažlovice. We have warehousing and value-added services. We will start with value-added servicing, just a few words about this. This is mainly in temperature regime 4 to 6 degrees. And we have approximately 1,600 square meters of this regime and value-added services and processing. And I will maybe now like to invite also Adam to join us, because Adam is on site in the production, and we will show you a little bit more details of every section. Hello, Adam. Okay, hello, Adam.
So please, for my slide, I would like to introduce.
Yes, we have Adam online. Perfect.
So my name is Adam Zamishka. I work as operations manager in HOPI CEE Fish Hub since 2019. And I'm already 10 years in meat and fish processing. And my responsibilities in Fish Hub is managing production and warehouse operations, plus operational project as well, process optimization and efficiency enhancement, and then procurement of packing materials and technical maintenance, and involvement in the development of new products and packing. So now I am in the production area. So Hanka, can we start now? I'm in the first part of manual processing, is the gutting area.
Okay, so manual processing, what we are making in manual processing is everything that related to knife and cutting of the fish. That means mainly gutting and filleting, and also steak cuttings and gutting like this. Now you can see the production of carp, but normally in this part of the production area is gutting and filleting for sea bass and sea bream. I don't think that I need to explain to our Czech followers why carp in this season, because this is typical Czech seasonal product. But of course, otherwise we are handling other countries also. So if I'm going a little bit back to the gutting and filleting, who is originally this room for, this is mainly sea bass and sea bream from Greece, from Croatia. We can do also Italy, or we can do Spain. So a lot of possibilities of supply. And Adame, do you remember the peak of the gutting that we had?
Yes, sure. It was 5 tons kg per day.
Okay, yeah, this is nice volume. Okay, thank you.
Just, Adam, before you go to the next chamber, just a quick question to myself, maybe just for the audience. So let's say right now we are, let's say, in the top season of carbs,
Yes.
which is more or less related to Czech Republic. But this, yeah, other countries, but mainly I would say
Czech,
this kind of fish is related to this zone. However, this is exceptionally actually for this, let's say, 2 weeks,
Yes.
right? And then it's over with the carp, and the rest of the year it's actually for the
Exactly, mainly for sea bass.
sea bream. Yeah.
Yes.
Some multitasking room. Okay, Adam. So go to the next one. It looks very still busy. Looking on the time, still we have a busy.
Next one is the defrost area, defrost department.
Okay, the defrosting department, there is a capacity of defrosting approximately 100 tons per one shift per month. Actually, we have listed approximately 400 to 500 articles, depending the season. So active, it's like 150 or 200. This is, you see now mainly the packing, but here is a defroster. Can you maybe tell us a little bit more? Yeah.
The defrosting room.
What is the technique here?
Yeah, for defrosting, we use system of hot and cold air and its circulation. And we use the sensors that I will show you later that are measuring the temperature inside the meat and stop the defrosting process once the needed temperature is reached. Then it will switch into cooling process and keeps the fish into the 0 to 2 degrees regime. And now I will show you the sonda. Yeah, this is the sonda.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, do you know, remember, or what is the planned peak for this type of processing for this year?
It's approx. Do you mean for all December, or for this day?
No, for the defrosting. If you remember the peak of the defrosting.
Yeah, it was about 10 tons.
Per one shift, yes. So double.
Per one shift.
So
Okay.
it's like double the normal.
Defrosting and packing.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course. It's always part of that.
Hanka, just looking on this environment, what Adam has online now. So this is actually all the time temperature control. So we speak
Yes.
about 0 to 2 degree,
We
right?
speak about 4 to 6 degrees.
Or 4 to
It's a little bit.
Working area.
Yes, it's working
Yeah.
area. It's a little bit higher. Okay, Adam, I think that the next we are moving to.
Now we can go to the vivarium.
Okay,
You
vivarium.
can show my colleague
with nice
the
lobster.
biggest lobster what we have for the moment, and his weight is approx 2 kg plus.
Okay, very nice one. Okay, vivarium. It is part of the department that we call live animals. This is mainly lobsters. In this vivarium that you can see, we have actually about 400 kgs, but we have another one that are able to get up to 2,000 kgs, 2 tons of live products. And I have to just mention that we have also tests for crabs and for shells. So this is not necessarily only for lobsters.
This species is coming actually from Canada. Am I correct, or
Yes.
from US?
Mainly
from Canada and Maine.
In Maine, yes.
In
Exactly.
Maine,
Okay.
the region of Maine, America.
How many times per week, or how is the?
Depending, it's 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah,
Yes.
depending on the season,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's even the Christmas period. It's the most challenging one for even for this. Or this is actually regardless
Yes,
the.
it is because a lot of people are using lobsters for their holiday or super, fancy
Fine
dinners.
dining.
Fine
Exactly,
dining,
yeah.
exactly.
Do we have any special, let's say, habits with that for the Christmas or New Year's? Probably for New Year's
For
Eve,
New Year
right?
more, yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
interesting. Okay.
Okay. So Adame,
So Hanka,
Next
now
slide.
I'm going to the packing area.
yeah,
So you can see
okay.
our machine.
In packing area, we have approximately capacity of 240 tons per one shift. As you can see, there is minor retail size of the packaging, but we are also able to do Horeca 1. I think it's very interesting to mention that is a little bit bigger. You can see now the retail size of the packaging of the salmon. This line is called thermoformer. That means that you have only the hard foil and the trays are made by the machine itself. And then you seal it and label it.
So these products you can buy that on the shelf, right, at the retailers, majority of the
Mainly,
retailers.
yes, exactly what you said. We are able to have also this Horeca packaging, as you can see now. This is bigger size, let's say 1 to 3 tons. Sorry, 1 to 3 kg per pack. What it can be very interesting for Horeca clients because it offers dry logistics for Horeca and easier for storage. And then you can see another one. This is also for salmon or other species and retail type of the packaging. The only difference that this is the tray seal. That means that you can see you have already the trays ready, and you just put it in the tray and you seal it. You put a modified atmosphere in it. Okay, then you can see this is sealed now, going through the metal detector and labeled.
You know what's very interesting because still looking from the Prague perspective, where we have a 4:15, which is late afternoon, and we still see a busy working environment. That's what you said maybe at the beginning. Here you mentioned that this is the most busiest month in the year, where we speak about increasing the volume by hundreds of percent, hundreds of percent.
Even more than 100%. Now we are at the regime that we work almost 3 shifts
Yes.
per day.
So it's 24/7 almost.
Yeah,
I would say
it's a 24/7. Of course, there are technical stops for the maintenance of the machine, cleaning, sanitation that is needed. But now, yes, until I would say until 23rd
Yes.
of December, we will going on like this.
And one more wave before the end of the year, right?
Yes,
So,
and one more wave, lower wave. I would say with more perhaps luxury products,
More
a little
fancy,
bit.
yes.
More fancy products, but still
very challenging.
Yes, absolutely.
So just I just wanted to mention or point it out that let's say for the majority of the logistic activities, usually if we speak about FMCG, sometimes the Christmas goods is already on the shelves, etc. But if we speak about let's say food regime and especially seafoods activities, so you have the most activities just enough before the before the Christmas day. So which is bringing additional challenges on our workers and on the whole supply chain.
Okay.
Then after Christmas, that means beginning of January, where you have the Orthodox Christmas, where we also have the last
Small wave.
yes,
Smaller wave.
the smaller wave, but still active. Let's say. So for us, Christmas stops around 9th of January.
One more question to you, Pierre, because you said that you are in this field maybe more than 34 years, right? Already,
Yes.
so which is quite a long period, few decades. Do you see any development in the consumption in this part of Europe?
No doubt. I mean, I arrived here in the 90s, and there was no seafood, there's no fish, only carp and frozen products. The first statistic that I
Frozen
had,
cod, right? It was
frozen
still,
cod. Yeah, well, I mean,
you still remember that?
60% of cod and 40% of water.
Maybe vice versa, what you say.
Yes. So the idea was, and then I started with fish import in I would say beginning of the 90s. Now the first statistic that I could put my hand on was 95, where the average consumption of fish in Czechia and Slovakia and other countries was, I would say, even not half kilo per inhabitant.
Per year.
Per year. Yes, per year. So in these 30 years of developing the business and the market, with a lot of influences, salaries getting higher, logistics is cheaper, faster, we are now reaching over 11 to, I would say, almost 12 kilo per inhabitant for Czechia, just to give you one example. But we're reaching almost 12 kilo per inhabitant. It's not like Spain, it's not like Italy, where we're reaching 30, 40 kilo. I mean, that's a top Portugal. But Belgium is perhaps 30 kilos, so we are almost at the half. Netherlands is perhaps 22 kilo per inhabitant. So I would say that the increase of fish consumption, healthy, it's a very healthy product to eat fish in general. I would say that the market is growing between 7 and 12% a year. That is a market growth in Czechia. In Slovakia, a little bit different. In Hungary, a little bit different. In Poland, a little bit different. But 7 to 12% is a lot.
And the potential, if you said the numbers, whereas on the West is huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially for the countries like Czech, Slovak, or Hungary, which are sea-locked countries, so no direct approach to the sea. Poland has a direct approach, but exactly for these countries, the let's say smooth running supply chain logistics is extremely important.
It is. It is because Poland, I mean, they need to have Mediterranean fish or Atlantic fish. So we're taking care of that. I mean, we have trucks going to Poland because only eating cod from the Baltic Sea and some other fish species is not enough. So we're bringing more exotic fish, exotic sea bass, sea bream. The Polish is exotic, and that is our main function in the fish hub.
Understand. So, Hanka,
Adam, I see that there is still one more part missing from the value-added services.
Yes. So now we are in the second part of manual processing. In the first, you can see the packing area vacuum machine.
Okay, I see salmon here. Yeah. Maybe what I didn't mention yet, the total capacity of the manual processing altogether is approximately 150 tons per month in one shift. I probably didn't mention yet. What is the peak for the salmon for these days, Adam? Do you know from your head?
Yeah, it's approx 10 tons per shift.
And we are working 24/7, so you can imagine that.
30.
Yes, it's up to 30 then. Okay.
Must be said, that we are not the only source supplying the region, but however, the consumption and especially with the salmon, it's actually dramatically big.
Yes, the salmon is still the number one.
Yes, I would say 60%.
Yes, and you can see also here is very nicely also visible the quality control. This is the guy in the red, I don't know, cap. The quality control, I think it's very important. Just to mention, the quality control is here to check if it is produced by the specifications. But what is also very necessary to mention, probably that we have all the certification that are needed also for the retailers and for the HoReCa guys, like IFS, ASCMS, CBO, and Global Gap. So this is very important also to mention, because otherwise you are not able to distribute.
So we are fulfilling the highest quality standards.
Absolutely.
Actually, what is possible
Yes.
to reach.
What is logic?
Yes, on the high level, because even the retailers are asking it on the high level.
Yeah, I mean, in this segment, whatever mistake, it's actually you can show it away. I mean, there is no space for mistakes, in this segment.
You cannot. Surely, if on a weekly base, I mean, out of the peaks of the season, we're talking about 400 to 500 tons
passing
of fresh fish passing the platform.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Adame.
Thank you too. And now I'm going to the warehouse. So see you at the moment.
Okay. Thank you, Adame,
Thank
for taking us behind the scenes. And of course, as was mentioned many times already, nothing like this can happen without proper logistics. So if I may, let me give the words to Michal, who will give us a little bit more details about this department.
Michal, and just a second again, I would like to ask our audience to, if you have whatever questions, just raise the question. Later on, we will have a session for Q&A. So, Michal, go ahead.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Hanka. And hello, everyone, again. I will first briefly introduce myself. My name is Michal Bednář. I'm the Transport and Development Manager in HOPI Fish Hub since 2018. In total, I'm already 13 years in the fish business. My responsibilities in Fish Hub is the whole transportation activity of the company. That means from creating the solution for the client through the planning of the solution and to its execution. So it's really the whole activity of transportation. I will quickly talk about the activities actually that we are doing. As my colleagues already explained, the sourcing for the clients is really important in the whole business, because at the end of the day, what is possible or what can the client do with the value-added services with the warehousing if he doesn't have the means to bring the products in and then to distribute it. In the fish business, it's very important, not only because of the service as a business activity of the company, but also because it's very different from all other transportation activities, other assortments. Mostly because we have to transport all fish in 0 to 2 degrees, which is again very different from other assortments, and also because most of the products are being transported on ice in polyboxes. That makes it difficult to combine with other products. That means that mostly the seafood has to be transported with dedicated transportation. The biggest volumes come to HOPI Fish Hub from the Western Europe, especially from Denmark or Norway. That's mostly for the salmon. Then from France, from Netherlands, from Germany. As was already Pierre mentioning, the, let's say, most important products are coming from these locations. For example, as I already mentioned, from Denmark, we are bringing salmon to Prague. From France, we are bringing oysters. We are bringing mussels from Netherlands, or we bring from the Frankfurt airport. We are bringing all the exotic fish that, again, Pierre already mentioned. For that to happen, we operate a very complex logistic network. It's a combination of own trucks and the logistic networks of our partners. Frequency, because of the short shelf life on the product, which is sometimes just in matter of days since it arrives to Prague, it is very important to have a very good frequency in the transport. That means that in most cases, we are importing the fish 3 times per week. Just from the basic locations that we are sourcing from. That means Frankfurt, that means Padborg in Denmark, that means Paris. We are bringing over 500 trucks of seafood products per year. On the visual, you can see that it's not only about these locations, it's also about other more distant sources. To give you an example, how we actually proceed with this. For example, from Vigo, from Spain, the most distant one that we have, we are bringing the fish first to Barcelona, where it's cross-dock. From Barcelona, it's coming to Frankfurt, and from Frankfurt, it's coming to Prague. The goal of this is, first of all, to save time, because to drive from Spain, from Vigo, with one truck, that would be not economic, and that would be very time consuming, because you simply cannot do that with one driver this whole distance. But if you split the transport into cross docks, you actually avoid the necessary breaks of the drivers. That means it can take very short time in comparison with direct transport. And of course, it has the advantage being much more economic than going directly.
Maybe, Michal, I'm very sorry to jump into that, but talking about cross-dock, I just see that Adam is already at the unloading place with the truck waiting for unloading. So maybe, hello, Adam, one more time now from the warehouse.
Hello.
Now we see the truck unloading. Maybe before you will see a little bit more details, just from my side, the temperature regime of the warehouse is 0 to 2 degrees, and we have approximately 2,000 square meters. The average volume of the platform, as already Pierre mentioned, is 400 to 500 tons. But actually, what is the expected peak, Adame, for December?
For December, it's 4,500 tons.
Yeah, so you can see it's much higher than average.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
So
300 tons per week.
Per day.
Per day.
Per day, sorry, per day.
So we speak about almost 5,000 tons, so which means almost 10,000 pallets, right? If I would say
Even more.
approximately,
Even more.
what is the average of the pallet?
200, 300, depending the product.
Okay, so we speak about 15 to 20,000 pallets passing the platform.
The only thing I want to mention is
Within 1 month.
sorry, the only thing that I was still mentioning with the warehouse, and Michal, I'm pretty sure that you will then confirm, is that, of course, the warehouse is fish related, but if the product is sealed or closed like vacuum, we can do whatever is fitting to the temperature regime. This is also probably necessary to make. But Adam, thank you very much for the warehouse. And
Thank you too.
In questions and answers.
Okay, thank you. See you later.
Thank you, Adam.
And I will just give back the word. Sorry, Michal, for the interruption.
It's okay. It's okay. And I confirm what you just said. Of course, it's possible as long as the products are sealed. It is possible to bring other products as well. We do also transportation of frozen, which is possible in big temperature trucks. So we do that quite often. Also, what we do is we don't need to stay dedicated only to fish. Of course, if we have a nice opportunity like we do, we can also make transportation of some non-fish products. We have approximately 500 trucks per year, or a little bit more, of trucks of sourcing coming from Western Europe for further distribution to the east. But we are bringing the products all the way, for example, from Ireland. Of course, that's not very easy transportation, but as Pierre always says, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So that's why we are here.
Michal, just because one question from my side again, Pierre, you mentioned that can we have the map on the screen, because it shows actually the connectivity to whole Europe import. Are we able to export even the goods from here out of Europe, for example?
We do that. I mean, out of Europe.
Out of Europe, for example, like container seafood, whatever, frozen, fresh, whatever. Because I think it's a part of the global supply chain, but I think we have the connectivity, right?
We could do that. Yes, sure, and we have some demands. They're more sporadic, but we do so. Yes.
Yes, I just wanted to say that we are not limited, or you are not limited only on European perspective.
Absolutely.
If there is a demand, we are able to organize it. Let's say full containers loads, even out of Europe.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And of course, And of course, we are already touching the products that are coming out of Europe. That means that they are sourced from out of Europe. The beauty of that is that basically it's not only about the volumes. I mean, it's very easy for the clients to start with very small volumes, even sample. Because we are ready to take 5 kilo, 10 kilo shipments. We actually do that quite often when a client wants to try something new. Then that's where Hanka and Pierre jump in, because their discussions with the clients and what they actually need, what they want to try for a product, then the demands go to me to actually bring the product in. And of course, at that phase, you don't bring 5 pallets of the product. You just need to test it out. So all this is possible through the network, which is the nice thing about it. Anyway, to continue the explanation of the network, at this point, let's say we brought the products in for some in-house operations. Is it for warehousing services? Is it for a value-added service? For example, we have clients where we bring the products in with English labels, with the original labels, but of course, by law, the labels needs to be in the language of the destination country. So that's where we come in. We split the shipment. We put the labels in the correct language on the products, translation labels, I mean, so we can distribute it further. So all this is happening in HOPI Fish Hub. At the moment, the goods are coming in to Fish Hub normally only a few hours at maximum later. There is already distribution truck planned. So it's very fast. For the fish to again leave HOPI Fish Hub. We are distributing products to most of Central and Eastern Europe, as you can see. Of course, in the countries that HOPI is located in, that's especially Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, we are cooperating with the local distribution or transport departments. And even because mostly these products are packed in retail packaging, that means no water coming out of the packaging, basically to be sold in the retail shops. It's very easy for HOPI to combine with other assortments. So we can actually use the, let's say, general distribution of HOPI. That normally happens as much as 7 times per week. So we can basically deliver all the retail clients every day, which is a huge strength in the distribution. Of course, that's what the client needs. Other destinations, except the countries that HOPI is in, we are handling in cooperation with the colleagues from HOPI Global Solution, which is an entity that is specialized on full truck solutions. So in these cases, we are, for example, into the Balkan countries, we are able to organize for the clients full trucks. Especially Romania, Bulgaria are really, let's say, increasing markets right now. So there is a lot of volumes going in the directions. So we work with our colleagues in this direction. Basically, this all means that depending on what the client needs, we can always create a custom solution. And that is what the market demands from us. So that's what we do.
I will maybe add one more thing, what you said, Michale, with the complexity and what client needs. Maybe you saw a little bit in the production, there is not too much automatized, the manual processing. Of course, it's challenging us price-wise with the big partners that have automatized filleting, automatized cutting. On the other hand, for us, it's big complexity because we can offer from 10 kg runs to big runs, complexity of various trims and various type of products. So this is, I take it as an advantage.
Flexibility.
It's very important, actually, point what you mentioned right now, because okay, to have fully automatized production means that forget about flexibility
Exactly.
and small runs or volumes. So this is exactly the point where we feel the, let's say, advantage of HOPI Fish Hub as an adaptive solution. Okay, so it looks like that we finished the transportation perspective from Michal. Michal, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Michal.
So looking on the time, so we reached almost 40 minutes of our webinar. So slightly or slowly we can go to the Q&A. And but before we will we will go on Q&A. Any let's say wrap up from your side, Hanka or Pierre, on that actually services just generally. If you can just close it or wrap it up with your opinions on that.
Heavy month. Happy month. We need to finish it now. I mean, we have an excellent team. Is it administrative team, development team, transport team, and surely a lot of respect for the blue-collar workers that are working now 24 hours. There's still a lot of things to do in Central Europe. We have wonderful partners in logistics all over Europe, in Spain, France, Netherlands, Greece, where we build up the market. So if they are present and looking to that, thanks a lot, because we would not do it alone. HOPI not alone. And the development is still going on because 12 kilo per inhabitant is not enough for me.
Still big reserve, right,
Maybe
Hanka?
what I would like to add that if you want to join our network, you are more than welcome to contact us for further details, because as you already heard, we can make customized offer for nearly all the products.
Okay, so I would like to ask maybe for if we have some, I see there are some questions. So let's go for from I see Veronica.
Hello, Pavel. Pavel Scheiner is funny quality carb from a Czech producer. Of course, we are using Czech producer. Pavel is one of them that he wanted to mention. So all the carbs that you saw now in the processing for the Czech market is from the Czech locations. Yes, quality carbs.
It's quality. It's well known in Europe because Czech Republic is the biggest producer of carb in Europe. And 50% of the carb is exported out of Czech Republic and mainly to Germany.
Yes. Yeah? So we are very lucky to have the Czech producers here.
Absolutely.
Okay,
it's
so the next one I see, it's a good question because that's related via something you invented, right? So maybe you can say a few words. What does it mean, Czech Muscle Week, and how it is running, organized, and what is behind it?
So Czech Muscle Week, don't forget, healthy eating habits is fish and seafood. So the idea of the Czech Muscle Week was very, very easy. Well, it's always easy when it's done and working, but it's not an expensive product. It's a healthy product and easy to cook. So now we already have 6 editions of the Czech Muscle Week. To give you an example, there was more than 70,000 portions served in restaurants in 1 week time, what I think is a record.
Mainly in Prague and nearby area.
Exactly. The first year was perhaps, if I remember good, 15,000 portions. So every year it's getting more and more popular. We work on it. Special edition for 2025. And we have even new products that we will introduce with our PR marketing team and that we will present in a while, beginning of January, like matches from Netherlands, herring, and other products, surprises coming.
Would I maybe just add to that is that all these events and preparation is part of the matchmaking and networking, because what we are doing is we are creating the demand. We are trying to convince the final clients that these products are okay to eat, okay to cook, and later on okay to buy and make it yourself at home. So we are creating the demand from the final stage to the HoReCa or to the retailers to buy the special products. And as Per mentioned, for next year we have planned already 8 actions with other different products. So it's going to be coming soon. Details.
And don't forget, again, I repeat myself, eating fish once a week is a minimum for the health.
Well,
minimum.
Without that, we will never ever reach 40 kilo per head, actually. So,
exactly.
So Pierre, just talking about the muscles, usually what I remember, you told me that there is a big connection to Yerseke, right? In Holland and even to Denmark. So what is the difference, or what's better actually?
Well, I mean, the most important is to find the more reliable supply and the quality supply. That's for mussels, and that's for all the rest. It's the same for salmon. If you build up a market like we did, Martin, for all these years, you need to have partners because you never do that alone. If you promote a product, if you push a product, you need to have a partner that believes in Central Europe and in the market that will grow. So in the case of the mussels, we have a wonderful supplier. We have the results coming out of that, and we're building the market still with those suppliers that are loyal. And we love that kind of situation.
I have to maybe add that regarding loyalty and partnership in the seafood network, says it's a big and a small world. So if you're not loyal and if you're not honest, it will very soon be end of this cooperations.
Yeah, it's a special, very
special
special, and it's a niche segment on the other side with big volumes, but not everybody can do that. And of course, if you make whatever, let's say, wrong move, you can do it again.
And again, we're coming back to the logistics. Logistics is one of the most important part of our network. I mean, I always say it needs to work like a Swiss watch. But I mean, young people don't understand that, so I need to say digital watch. Because there is a chain reaction. The trucks need to arrive on time. There need to be a cross dock. There need to be a value added, and then the other trucks needs to leave on time, that the chain is not broken. So, logistic is a big part of our success, and we still need to develop that even more.
Yes.
To other areas in Europe. So I would say good suppliers. I would say simply good partners and a good network. We have a part of the network. We have also partners in logistics. So that makes the success of our business.
And also,
as simple as that.
What I would maybe add as a last point to this network is that we are owning the whole chain. And this is very important because we have it since the supplier to the final client. So this
for the majority of products. Yes, correct.
Me personally, I'm as well end consumer. So we just close the circle.
Exactly. Happy to have you.
Well, I will not help you too much with increasing the consumption. Let's go to next question. If I read it correctly, how do you see the future of the category? Will salmon be still so dominant, or other fishes are coming? And if I'm just reading on that one what is the biggest potential out of salmon, Pierre? Still so dominant, or how would you
see it for the future?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean salmon is number one. I cannot say salmon was number one. I mean, we need to know that Norwegian has invested and is still investing in salmon farms because, in general, what I would say in the seafood, what you can see all over the world, we can say that 70% or 80% is farmed fish, and that's logic because wild fish is more and more seldom and more expensive. So salmon, I still see a lot of future in the salmon. It will stay 60-65% of the I would say the eaten species. I don't know, perhaps we'll reach 50%, but the volumes will not go down. I mean,
I think that the volumes will surely not go down. On the other hand, the demand is still increasing.
Yes.
And to reach new farms is more and more harder, challenging.
Yes.
So there is surely place for new species that we are still missing in our market. I mean, it's not like Western market, but at our market, I'm pretty sure there is quite a lot of possibilities, mainly for the whitefish species.
Correct. Yes. But salmon, number one. I mean, it's a wonderful fish, and will stay, I think, always number one in the.
Okay, this is just giving me some additional question on that because you speak about live animals, right? Which the consumption is being influenced even on the let's say seasonality, and how is these actually external factors influencing the demand or let's say the accessibility of salmon on the market? Because you might have whatever different diseases or wrong season. Is there any price impact on these things?
Price impact, sure. I mean, every animal needs to grow. So
Yes.
it takes 3 years to have an adult salmon. Of course, if the water is colder, the water is warmer, if there are parasites, if there is a problem, the salmon doesn't grow the way it needs to grow. But I mean, Norway is not the only country where we farm salmon, and the south of Norway and the north of Norway. I mean, I think that you did that by motorcycle, Martin. Norway, it's a long.
Well, I haven't seen any salmon, but
So it's a very big country. So yes, there are impacts. Just to give you an example, in the summer the salmon is growing, getting fatter, and is really growing because the water is warmer.
really, it's
Yes, of course. And then you sell it in November, December, when the salmon is the biggest. So what do you expect? Yes, January, there will be not so much salmon or smaller salmon on the market,
Okay.
and there will be a price impact,
But
of course.
the big price impact, I remember, I think it's like 9 years ago, there was a disaster in Chile.
Yeah.
There was a disease there, and of course it has impact to the Norwegian
so impacted
market
the
as
whole
well.
world market.
Yes.
Well,
So
more American market that was
Exactly.
supplied from Chile. So the Norwegian had to export
Exactly.
salmon to,
and it
to
was
Norway.
really the price dramatically changed from one day to the other.
But
that
still,
time.
to repeat to the question of Mr. Jan Bartel, yes, sure, salmon is one of the most important, and still in the future, the most important product.
At least in this region,
No.
or worldwide,
I would say whole Europe.
all Europe.
Yes. Italian are eating salmon, Spanish eating salmon.
How would you say how it is in Japan, for example?
Well, Japan and Norwegian.
Or
are
Asia? I mean, Japan.
the Norwegians are exporting
A lot.
planes full of salmon
Hmm.
to Japan and China.
Okay. So Hanka, we have next question.
I think it's going to be probably Martina more to you, but great insight. I'm curious, where does HOPI see the biggest growth potential in the market? Are these specific sectors or regions the company plans to focus on in the near future? Looking forward to hearing your perspective. I'm not really sure if it is to HOPI Fish Hub or as a HOPI group generally now.
I would treat it maybe more to HOPI Fish Hub related. So yeah, I will maybe start, and you can finish my chain of thoughts.
We'll try.
Generally, because the reason why we do the business here is because we see still big potential, and there is a big potential on the market, fine-tuning the supply chain, the production, and still connecting the world with the consumption, with the end consumers. And as you said, and you are actually the biggest ambassador of these ideas, is actually then better the supply chain it is, then more accessible the species are for the actually end consumers, and there is a much bigger variety of different kind of species which are still not available in this market, and we can
Correct.
still work on that. And of course, to have it accessible, you need to have a working supply chain for that. You cannot go. You can go for holiday somewhere to Maldives, maybe to have a good local fish, but you will never ever eat it here. But if there is a good, let's say, network behind it, you can have it even let's say available here on the shelves or market.
Well-
or maybe if you can maybe have a different
We
insights.
were talking about salmon. I will talk again about salmon. I mean, salmon, 90s, you only could find in the restaurants.
Mhm.
And then suddenly the sashimi restaurants came, the Japanese restaurants, and there was again salmon, because that's also a big part.
Yes.
And then we started to see a portion salmon in the retailers. So what is the evolution of in general in the fish and fish kind? I mean, in the 90s, 80% of the salmon was whole salmon that was imported. It was 80-90% was whole salmon.
Mhm.
Today, whole salmon is perhaps only 10 or 15%. So now they want fillets, they want portions. Now, talking about salmon, the other species are the same. I mean, we never did so much volume in different kinds of exotic fishes. If you can call sea bass and sea bream exotic fish, tuna is an exotic fish. So the evolution, I would simply say, to answering to that question, is surely you can increase and evaluate if you work on the quality and you work on the diversity of the products. Diversity of the product means simply other products or product presented a different way, and simply keep the quality to not to have surprises. The quality is one of the most important part of that fish business.
Okay. Actually, looking on our, so we have last question. Thank you for bringing us closer to the fish world. So
It's our pleasure.
that's actually that's our destiny, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is. surely for me, yes, that's clear.
But we are slowly approaching the end of today's webinar, because we said let's have a nice 60 minutes inside, and that's what we almost reached. So before we will close it, I would like to thank you actually to the whole team who participated on today's webinar. So first of all, thank you to Michal and Adam.
Thank you.
And I'm pleased as well that we managed here the discussion here in studio. Hanka, thank you very much. And
Thank you too.
yeah,
Thank you for the invitation, Martin.
it's my
It was a
pleasure.
nice time
Was
together.
a
Nice time
good, was a
together.
good discussion. So at the end, because we are approaching the Christmas time, let's wish to everybody actually to enjoy the Christmas time and the Christmas period as good as possible, because I know that especially if you work in the industry, it's quite stressful period. But on the other side, we do on the backstage all the activities to have at the end on the household level, let's say the most or the best products we can reach. So let's enjoy the time period. Let's enjoy the New Year's Eve, and stay with us, because we still have in the pipeline lots of excellent webinars in the upcoming year 2025. So thank you for your time today, and let's stay connected. Thank you very much.